goodness that was initially the way it was designed. And who are the stewards of restoration? We've always thought it was the Lord. I believe that God's revealing and has continued to reveal all throughout Scripture that it's humanity. Because Jesus said, all authority in heaven and earth and under the earth has been given to me, and I give it to you. For what? For the redemption of it all. For the redemption of ourselves and the redemption of all of nature. Yee! Okay. Thoughts or comments?
Thinking of like the caterpillar butterfly, because as we die to our flesh, our sinful nature, our Adamic nature, by His Spirit we come forth in new life, and then we're able to have the wisdom and application of everything to bring forth His will through us upon the earth for the glory of His name's sake. Cool. I love the metaphors of like caterpillar, butterfly.
Yeah, and there's tons more metaphors in here. In fact, he even talks to the very essence of time and the way the animals relate to each other. And it goes on. So other thoughts or comments? What do you think? What do you think, Dan? Sorry, I don't call people out. I apologize. Never mind. I just saw your wheels. And I know you've known this for a long time, so. Come on. Okay, we're going to end here in just a second, but I'd love to hear more thoughts. Yes.
I feel like this is really important. And like people in the Christian community are afraid to talk about this because it gives us too much responsibility. Like reconciling yourself with the idea that like God gives us the power and like partners with us in caring about you know, the world and the way we treat it, just actually treat it, puts so much, well, it puts responsibility on us, but not in like a bad way, not like a works way, you know? It's just,
what it does is it undoes the dualistic thinking that existed around Plato. Dualistic thinking came, which was spirit is good and matter is bad. So the spirit has to overcome the spirit has to overcome all matter, which is inherently bad. This is now restoring the idea that matter is also infused with goodness, and there's a partnership here. So what happens when you have a dualistic thinking where matter is bad? That's when you find people casting things out kind of violently. That's when you have people who are like yelling at storms and yelling at this, and they become like aggressive, you know, in their approach towards nature. And when you start to go, hey, where is the Lord in the midst of all of this, and how am I partnering with goodness? You start to find yourself, at least I started to find myself, starting to have respect for the clouds, and I started to have respect for the earth, and I started to go, what can I do to partner with the goodness and intention of heaven to free you to do the thing that you've always wanted to be? And I remember using this illustration, and I guess we'll end with this, and I would love to hear more feedback, but the illustration that I felt like the Lord gave to me was that He was like, all of nature is like this. Like it's meant to be just flexible, free. And right now it's like this. It's the tension that's holding it outside of its natural shape. So all the injustice that Job experienced is a part of this. It's a part of the natural order of things not going the way that they're supposed to. And releasing ourselves and releasing nature and other beings is not about creating something different than the rubber band, which is so unobtainable, right? We're all trying to like be something that we're not. It's literally just releasing the tension of something that's been distorted.
Yielding to the spirit back to its original shape.
Yes, into its already natural shape. So you're going from something that's pulled and stretched, and this has tension. So it's not hard to come into healing. Like for all of us, when we come into revelations and healing, we keep talking about growth is hard, no pain, no gain, right? That's baloney. It is super easy to come into healing. It's super hard letting go of what has kept you not healed. That's living in the yuck that beats the poo out of you. Coming into new revelation that automatically frees you is super, super easy. But it's the idea that it's going to be painful. And see, this isn't painful. It's just releasing a tension that is intolerable, that we haven't even known we had. So it's about undoing a dualistic thinking, which reunites us back to more of our authentic selves, which is to celebrate ourselves and the earth and nature. And it also does another thing, which it debunks the myth that God is punishing people through natural disasters. And going, if there's natural disasters happening, we as a community of believers actually have a role in stopping those things from happening. Because this is our earth to what? Have dominion over. And that's super fun. And I've actually been in places where I've known people who can pray over and with nature and have it change. I've seen clouds roll back when they were like supposed to be going a certain direction. Like I've seen all that, but we're gonna let them start, so we'll say that towards the end, okay? So, and I know some of you guys have stories and you haven't shared them yet, so we'll have to do that next time. So next time we will run into God's last response to Job, some other key mysteries, and I believe a passage in Job that has been drastically misinterpreted, and we may either end next week or the following week on Job. And so, I'm super excited. Yay!